Today in the Joy of Editing, I'm doing a color edit using DxO FilmPack 8. Stay tuned. Hello everyone and welcome to the Joy of Editing with Dave Kelly. I am pulling out DxO FilmPack 8 again this week. This week I decided I would do a color edit. Last week I did a black and white edit. So let's check this out by doing a color edit. I'm using DxO FilmPack 8 for this edit because it gives me a lot of creative control over color, contrast, and the overall mood of the image. It's inspired by the look of traditional film, but I can use those tools very subtly to enhance the orchids without making the image feel overly processed. If you'd like to purchase DxO FilmPack 8 or get a free trial or purchase any software from DxO, links are in the description below this video. Use my discount code DAVEKELLY to save 15% off new purchases. When you use my code, I make a small commission, which helps support my channel, and I really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm starting out here in Photoshop, but you can also use FilmPack 8 as a standalone app, or you can launch it from DxO Photolab. So I'll come up here to Filter, go to DxO Labs and click on DxO FilmPack 8 and we'll launch DxO FilmPack 8. And now here we are inside of DxO FilmPack 8. And you can see all of my presets over here. Now you can filter these presets if you want. Right now you're seeing everything that's available here in FilmPack 8. But if I click on filter, we can filter by color or black and white. We can filter by legacy films, negative films, slide films, designer presets, digital films, cinematic films, time machine, my presets. So we have a lot of options here. I just want to work with color today, so we're going to click color. And I want to work with legacy films, so we're going to click on legacy films, and we're going to see both negative films as well as slide films. And if I go down through these, you can see we have quite a few to pick from here. So there's a lot of different options that we can go with. And just to start out, let me just click on some so you can see the difference. Now, right now you're seeing the original edit. This is just an image that I edited in Lightroom from a raw file. This is my picture of some orchids, and it has very minimal processing on it. So let me click on this first preset. So this one's Lomachrome Metropolis 100. And let's try this one here, ADOX Color Implosion. Here's another one. We'll just click through some of these just so you can get an idea of all the different varieties we have here. Amber T800, Amber T200, Cinestill 800 Tungsten, and so on and so forth. But let me show you the one I finally decided on. I'll click on search and type in Provia 100F. And now I'll just click on this preset to accept it. And I really love the look of the image. Now, if I come up here to compare, left click and hold, this is before and this is after. Again, before and after. So I really like it so far. Now, if you're happy with the result you're seeing, you could come up to the upper left side of the interface, click save and save it out. But I want to do some further customization. By the way, if you look at the presets, see the eye for information, give that a click. And on the left-hand side of the interface, it'll tell you all about that film, which is really nice. I really love this feature in FilmPack 8. I'm just going to go ahead and click close for now. And now back to the right-hand side of the interface. Next to presets, we have customize. I'll give customize a click. By the way, if you're a photographer that still works with film, you could scan your films and then use the film scan optimizer to invert them and then work on them right here inside of FilmPack 8, which is pretty nice. And right here where it says Film Scan Optimizer, I'm going to click and close this group. By default, all of these groups are open. You'll notice we have like the development group, we have graphical effects, lens effects. I'm going to click here and shut that group, click here and shut that group. And now if you'll notice, this is the film rendering area right here. I've already chosen the film, which is Fujifilm Provia 100. Now I could take the intensity the whole way off, and now we have the original image, and then I could build it up and just add as much of the rendering as I want, or I could double click it and set it to the default setting of 100. It gives you the actual grain for that film. If you don't want grain, you could shut this grain off. I'm just going to double click and go back to the 100% default because I want the actual grain that the film has. And now I'm going to click film and close that group. And now we're going to work on developing this image. I'll start out in the light area. Now I like the exposure. I'm going to go and pull back on my highlights a little bit. Not too much, but somewhere maybe like right about here. I do want to open up my midtones a bit to maybe somewhere right about in this area. I think the shadows and blacks are good. I'm going to come down to vibrancy. It looks a little too vibrant to me, so I do want to pull back in the vibrancy. Not too much, but just a little wee bit to maybe somewhere right around there. Now you can always come up here and left click and hold compare. This is before and this is after. We also have luminosity masks, which I will come back to later. I'll click on this scroll bar on the right and I'm going to scroll down through till I come to contrast. And I'm going to click contrast and open this up. And what I want to do is remove a little bit of contrast from this image, just a little wee bit. I know there's not a lot of contrast here, but I just want to give it a little more dreamy look. So I just want to take a little bit off. I want to take off a little bit of the micro contrast because they're flowers and they're delicate, and also a little bit of the fine contrast also, just a tiny wee bit. Instead of just a basic contrast slider like you'll find in many editing programs, I can separately control micro contrast, fine contrast, and even target the highlights, midtones, and shadows. It's really powerful. And now I'm going to scroll down to the color section down in here. Here we can work with hue of all the different colors. We can work with the saturation of the different colors as well as the lightness of the different colors. And for this image, I want to work with saturation as well as lightness. Now, I feel like the oranges are a little oversaturated, so I just want to pull back on the orange a little wee bit to maybe somewhere right about there. And now I'm seeing some blue up in here, so I'm going to go to blues. And I want to pull back on the blue saturation just to get rid of that little bit of blue. I don't mind a little bit, but I want to pull that back. And now let's check out purples. See, I can bring up the purples, not too much, but just a little wee bit. Maybe to right about here looks good. And also magenta. Let's bring out a little bit of magenta in here. Not too much. We don't want to go crazy here. Just a little wee bit of magenta. Somewhere right about there should be good. And then for lightness, I just want to lighten up the magentas a tiny little bit. So I'll take this magenta slider to the right so I can lighten up the magentas. And I don't want to go too much, but just a little bit to right there should be good. And now I'm done here in development. So I'll click right here and close this group. Now what I want to do is add a nice dreamy blur vignette around this image. So we're going to click on Lens Effects and click on Blur. And we have vignetting and soft focus. I'm using vignetting, so we'll click on vignetting. And what I want to do is move the intensity to the right. See how I'm blurring the edges? I'm going to take this over to somewhere like right around here. Now it's blurring way too much. Now we have a set center. You could click right here. And there's our center point, which I think is pretty good. But you can take it and move it a little bit if you need to. Now let's come to transition. I'll move it the whole way to the right. So we can see, can you see that edge right there? I want to adjust my radius, so I'm going to take this radius to the left to bring it in more around the flowers. And now I'm going to come to round and see if I take it to the right, it'll make it a circle. But if I take it the whole way into the left, it'll be more of a rectangle shape. And now I can adjust that radius and get it just where I want, maybe somewhere right around there. And now I'm going to pull this transition in to smooth out that edge to maybe somewhere right about there. And now let's adjust our radius a little bit. Let's take it away from the flowers. I'll move it to the right a little bit to maybe right about there. And now you see this toggle. I'll give it a click. This is before the blur on the edges, and I'll turn it back on. This is after. See that nice little blur? It just gives it a nice dreamy look. I really like that. Now I want to come back to transition and just pull this in a little bit to the left, just to blur that transition a little bit more, and I like it. I think I'm happy with that. Now I'll click here to close the blur group and click on Creative Vignetting, and I just want to add just a tiny vignette around the edge, a little dark vignette. Just a tiny wee bit to right there. That's all I want to do. I'll shut this off. Here's before the vignette, here's after. Maybe that's too much. I'll pull it back a little bit to maybe -5. Here's before and here's after. Yeah, I like that better. And now I'll click right here to close Creative Vignetting. And now we'll click on Filter. We have different filters here. Right now we have no filter. I'll click the drop down. What I want to do here is add a little cooling filter. So I'm going to click right here. Now that's way too strong, right? So I'm going to take this the whole way off and just watch. I just want to add a slight coolness to this image. Not much, like +10. Now let me shut off this filter. Here's before and here's after. I love these different filter effects we can get. I'm going to close this to collapse the group, and we'll click Apply to apply the lens effects. The last thing I want to do is lighten up the midtones a bit, so I'll click on development again, and we're going to come to the luminosity masks. So I'm going to click here and turn on luminosity masks, click the plus, and you see the mask range right here. Right now, it is set for the 5, which would be the midtones, okay? So I could click the 5 and nothing happens here. Or I could click 6 to get this range of luminosity, or 7, 8. But I want midtones, so I'm going to click right here for the 5. But what I want to do is feather this out into the highlights. So this bottom handle, I'm going to drag it over to the right. Right there, 240. Now I'll take this handle and drag this into the shadows to feather the midtones into the shadows over to right there, 25. Now I'm only targeting the midtones, and you can see by the red overlay. I'm going to go ahead and shut off the overlay by clicking this checkbox for show mask, and now we see the image. And now you'll notice we have a contrast section for contrast and micro contrast, and then a light section. All I want to do here is lighten up my midtones, so I'll take this exposure. As I move it to the right, I'm just lightening up the midtones. You see that? Just the midtones. And I just want a little bit of lightening, not much, like +5, and that is it. And now I'll click apply. And now I've lightened up my midtones a bit. Now let's come up to the center of the interface up here and left click on compare. We started out here and we end up here. And I really love these results with this film I've chosen. Fujifilm Provia 100F. I'm finished here in FilmPack 8. Come up to the top left side of the interface. I'll click save, and that sends us back to Photoshop. I'll go ahead and shut off this layer. We started out here and we end up here, but I really, again, love this result. I do love FilmPack 8, and I do hope you check it out, or at least get a free trial and see if it's something that might be right for you. Well, there it is, everyone. I hope you enjoyed today's color edit using DxO FilmPack 8. If you enjoyed today's video, please give this video a like and share it with your friends. And if you're not yet a subscriber to my channel, please subscribe. Click the bell notification icon. Click all so that you receive all notifications. And then every time I upload a new tutorial, you'll get notified about it. I want to thank each and every one of you for joining me today on The Joy of Editing with Dave Kelly, and I will see you all right here next time. But until then, happy editing.